Welcome to Misbehaving in Maine. I'm Dan Williams. This story is called Forgetting Bumblebees. And now, here goes everything. I grew up in a house on a hill in the mid-Maine woods. We called our hill a mountain because who wants hills when you can own mountains? Plus, as T.S. Eliot says, in the mountains there you feel free. My parents painted the house black, so it was a house made of midnight in the middle of the woods. The driveway fell straight up the mountain and died there, deathly steep. Come winter, your car had to achieve 40 miles an hour, 60 was better, if you were interested in reaching the top. This made the driveway more of a ski jump, which means my childhood was futuristic. When I played outside, I had to avoid getting killed by flying cars. I was doing this that day, cheating death on the day of my first memory. I sat on the lawn doing what little living children do. I was looking at whatever, grass and dandelions, my feet, my hands, the lovely house-shaped blob of darkness that was my house, and all of it was strange, wonderful, and new. It was new because I was new. Then, as they say, something happened. A bumblebee flew into my vision. And not just any old bumble. This one was my very first memory. He was the beginning of a new kind of life for me. A life that had grown so far away from the womb and so big it could now store and transport my past, which meant I could look at my past whenever I liked. From then on, for better or worse, I would be accompanied by all the Dans I had been before. Yes, Mr. Bumble arrived. He flew between me and the house, flying from left to right as if he knew about books and the direction they often go. But my Bumble wasn't writing books. He wasn't even writing haiku, though he probably should have been. With his black and yellow body on the black canvas of my house, he wrote a short story, the whole thing in a single sentence. For sale, baby shoes, never worn again after baby got knocked out of his shoes by flying cars. Not that story, thankfully. And even if it had been that story, the Bumble wouldn't have used English words. His were the words of waves, the rise and fall of water waves, crest, then trough, then crest again. Mr. Bumble rose and fell on the path of his story, a bobber of a flyer, a guy catching gusts and riding them. What could be making these waves of wind? Me. Picture a cartoon Dan asleep. His exhales float a feather up. His inhales let the feather fall again. Now make the feather my Bumble. Make my sleep breathing the breathing of a wide-awake, Bumble-amazed boy. Grass and dandelions, feet, hands, houses, woods and mountains, and now this floating gentleman? World, I thought you were full already. Now you're bursting. The bumblebee was gigantic in my eyes, the size of a peach. He was bigger than this, of course, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you he was a prize pumpkin, which he was, a black and yellow blue ribbon pumpkin skipping over the waves of my happy shock. I remember the sound of him, a hum, like an outboard motor at the far end of the lake, that old two-cycle talk, old chummy murmuring. Or the sound of ancient snoring relatives, greats and grands safely stowed away upstairs. Almost any sound, far enough removed, makes me think the spirit wall has developed a draft and is letting through the music of the other side. And maybe that's what bumbles are, notes who wandered from their pages in the beyond and wound up here. What are you? I thought as I watched the bee. The story he told with his body was the only answer he offered. I am here, now there, now gone. He flew right off the edge of the house and into the woods. Yes, gone. But if the rest of his life was as extraordinary as a bumblebee flying his way into existence in the eyes of a child, then Mr. Bumblebee's story continues to this day. Imagine the size of him now. He's big as a boulder now. No more flying for our guy. His seat on the ground is a deep bowl, pressed deep by his weight. He's asleep, but still hums. He sleeps under the 100 folds of his long life, and his song fills the woods with what else? Nostalgia. However, nostalgia's nothing but a little hill. So I say the bee song fills the woods with hope, because hope is a mountain, and there you feel free. At least that's what I feel when I hear the sound of my old bumble, my story bee. I feel free to hope for amazement in my life, the kind that can be found in more places than the past. And maybe I can do more than hope. I can do this. Sit in the grass and dandelions. Look at my hands and feet until they are strange again, wonderful, and listen for the faraway hum of my friend who can, in fact, fly. Mr. Bumble, big as a boulder or not, asleep or not, can still rise from his deep seat in the woods and go flying. He flies along on the wind of all our lungs. He tells a story. He helps us remember how to be amazed once more by the enormity of little things. This has been Misbehaving in Maine. See you next time. And remember, you may be wicked, you may be weird, but you're not alone.